We're here with Randy Evans at his new restaurant, Haven. Tonight is the first night that he's opening, December 15th, 2009. And we're going to talk with him about his menu. Randy created this entire menu on his own. Is it like your dream menu, Randy?
It is. You know, it's one of those. I probably have a dozen menus for each month that we thought we were going to open, and as the seasons change, our menus will change as well. So, although the menu that we see now that we're running, I'll probably run it for the next 2 weeks, and we'll add on as my cooks feel more comfortable with the menu, and I feel more comfortable with my cooks cooking the menu.
Oh yes.
We're starting small, and I wanted to start small, so something that we can handle and not get overwhelmed. I'd rather do a little less items than I would traditionally do on a menu.
Yeah.
But then add that on and do a better quality product in the long run.
And I did notice that the menu is rather small compared to what you're used to in your former restaurant jobs, and so that's the reason why.
Yeah, exactly. And so it will certainly be growing and become more diverse. I have just on deck, if you will. I have on deck Texas lamb producer, Texas game, venison, a guy in Austin that's doing ducks for me as well, and all that will come along as we progress in our comfort level and my staff's comfort level, both front of the house and back of the house. So I want the waiters to know what we're doing and be able to relate that to our guests. I think it's important.
Makes a ton of sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over your openers you're calling enticements. So is that your app? Your app
those
menu?
Are our apps,
appetizers?
Yeah.
Okay, the deviled eggs. Love those. What made you decide to put deviled eggs? Because no one's doing deviled eggs.
No one does deviled eggs. I grew up with deviled eggs. I think the only time people ever eat deviled eggs are on holidays.
Yeah.
It's like a special
picnics,
treat.
Exactly.
You know, we always had them on Thanksgiving, Easter, Mother's Day, Christmas. That was about the only time you ever had them growing up. And I thought, well, why can't we have them more often? And there's a lot of labor involved to come to find out. And plus, all the free-range eggs that are being produced right now, the quality of the yolk is amazing. And the yolk's what makes the egg, what makes the egg. And so I figured, let's go ahead and put some deviled eggs on the menu. It's a fun little starter. It's a great kind of bring one for the table. You get 4 little deviled eggs, kind of almost an amuse for a table that they could come in and just kind of pop one in their mouth and
it's
enjoy
light.
it.
It's not going to fill them up, but it's very tasty and flavorful because I had them.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of flavor all at once. A big pop.
Really delicious. The seared Berkshire belly with stewed cream peas, mirepoix, and mustard greens.
That one's really good. That was actually an addition from Friday night to Saturday night on one of our mock services. Originally we had bone marrow, and it was one of those dishes I just wasn't happy with the exact outcome of it. I thought it needed some tweaking. I needed to go back to the drawing board, so I decided to do this pork belly dish. And so it's Berkshire belly, and it's what I call a Korean belly, and it actually has equal parts meat to fat. A lot of times when you get pork belly at restaurants, it'll have a ton of fat on it and very little meat. This one has a good combination of both, so you get that luscious pork fat, and then you get that nice that meatiness that you expect. And that's basically, it's my take on pork and beans. And so Lady Cream Peas, it's a shelling peas, cousin to both the black-eyed and the purple hull. And so I take those, we stew those down in a nice rich chicken stock, some carrots, onions, celery, and mustard greens, actually local mustards as well. So I actually bought 250 pounds of those shelling peas back in October, but before the colds came, and had stored them in a fellow chef's restaurant in their freezer so I could have them for the rest of the season. My granny used to always do shelling peas and freeze them, and they work perfectly.
Well, that was nice. Now this is one of my favorites already. The shrimp corn dog with Meyer lemonade and Tabasco mash remoulade.
Yeah, it's one of those dishes that I mentioned this to someone and they kind of looked at me strange, but I remember as a kid, if you notice this, I say I remember as a kid a lot, and that's how I've kind of done this menu. going to the mall, and there would be the corn dog 7. Everyone remember the corn dog 7? You had corn dogs, you had the plexiglass containers that had the lemons in it, and those ladies with the rainbow color hats on. And so I thought, how much fun would it be to do a shrimp corn dog and actually serve local lemonade using Meyer lemons. We're in the heart of Meyer lemon season. It's a great sweet lemon to make lemonade from. And so it's just a little shot. It's kind of a playful dish, and we're using great Gulf of Mexico shrimp, some nice wild shrimp, and then the remoulade sauce we're making with that Tabasco mash, that all the peppers in the bottom of the barrel after they drain the vinegar out of the Tabasco.
Yeah, I had that dish at mock service. It was divine. And your last item on your enticement section is house-made meats, condiments, and artisan cheeses. Is that so? That's just whatever you feel like?
Exactly. It's whatever we feel like playing with. You know, it may have some sausages on there, a terrine. If I end up getting some whole animals in, I may do like head cheese with hog head cheese, lamb head cheese, things like that. As we progress, I hope to start doing some dry curing, but at this point we're just doing some traditional charcuterie work, things that